Today we're going to explore an unexpected metric that should be on everybody's growth plan. That's today on the Art of Lifing at Work with Keka. Many different corporate companies around the world have different performance review templates where we are trying to make ourselves better. And we want to measure our performance and our development so that we can grow within a company, grow our careers. And how many of you have sat down and written down your goals for the year, the things you want to accomplish? I certainly have. And when I look back now from my corporate career, what I realize is that so much of those career goals or those personal goals were all outward. I want to acquire these skills. I want to grow this way. I want to do that. But have you also met people? I think all of us have that one or two, group of friends or one friend here or there who travels to the Far East, gets lost in those countries, and then truly finds themselves and finds that purpose or meaning in their life. The one thing that's kind of stood out to me the other day when I was looking at that is that, in the entrepreneurial world, so many people put a really big emphasis and they invest in their personal self-development. So, how I feel about myself internally, what's going on in my mind right now. They sort of look at performance not only on the things that they're doing outwardly, but also on how they're feeling inside, which I think also leads them to how well they know each other in knowing themselves. But those types of goals are not often put on corporate reviews, right? How are you going to better know yourself in the next year? How are you better going to discover who you really are and what your true gifts are? Those are not questions that always show up in reviews. And I think that that's one metric, however unexpected it is, that really should be part of the equation. When my mom used to tell me when I was younger, she would say to me that Eastern cultures and Western cultures have different strengths, and we need to pull from both of those to really make the most of our lives. And she described that to me by saying that Eastern cultures are often very focused on really searching for the answers that are deep inside yourself. So whether it's from a spiritual perspective or just a life perspective, following your intuition, listening to your gut, understanding your place in the universe, recognizing how we are all, even as individuals, connected to the larger universe around us. So much of Eastern culture is focused in on accepting your karmic fate in your life, but then really focusing on developing yourself internally. Conversely, when it comes to Western culture, we look at Western civilizations that have done so much to focus on the comforts of our lives, to make sure that our lives are better or easier, for example. We've sent men to the moon, men and women to the moon, for example. We're trying to send people to Mars in the future. So much of that has that outwardly ambition to be able to go and explore our universe in a much different way. One is looking at inside, you're meditating and you're trying to understand the universe from your own perspective inside, and the other is actually sending out satellites in the Mars rover and looking out in space. And at the end of the day, a cross-section of both of those things will really ultimately help us to develop ourselves. And if you have an employee workforce that is truly well developed or committed to developing themselves in both areas, can you imagine the boost in productivity? Can you imagine the boost in the culture and how positive that environment can be? So I'm going to say that the next time you have a performance review or a template that you're reviewing or looking at, or doing it for yourself or maybe even for one of your team members, maybe consider adding in that metric about inner self-development. So over the next year, in addition to acquiring these particular skills and accomplishing these particular goals on an outward level, what are the goals that you really need to accomplish for yourself? Part of that might just be knowing yourself better. Part of it might be accepting yourself. Part of it could be discovering the purpose, the deeper purpose that drives you every day. And at the end of the day, if we can know each other better, know ourselves better like that, then just imagine how much more powerful we can be in our everyday performance. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, then please like it and share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this content as well. I would also love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday. And last but not least, if you have any comments, I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's do this journey together. Let's master the art of lifing and really do life on purpose.